Have you ever considered that concepts can be blocking your spiritual path? We're often enamored with our own ideas and beliefs and thoughts. We create them, we refine them, we cherish them, and then we often follow them down one path or rabbit hole after another. And we become attached to our beliefs and our thoughts. We think they're true, of course, and we'll even defend them rather fiercely. Even though we can become attached and cling to our beliefs and our thoughts, and like I say, sometimes we fall in love with them, cling to them, they're ours, we claim them as our own. The truth is, all of these ideas and beliefs and desires and dreams and ambitions and our political identities, our identifications, they're just merely thoughts that'll eventually vanish. While they're the basis for many of our intersubjective experiences and our conceptualizations of a separate self, and while the egoic mind relishes mental preoccupation and frequently identifies with its thoughts, the fact is these are all ephemeral, wispy, transient, mental events that are flowing like water under the bridge. They're always coming and going. They don't really ever amount to, in the final analysis, all that much. Because the ego often chases after and clings after its own thoughts, mental preoccupation often becomes one of the major obstacles to spiritual progress. The ego will often promote overthinking and intellectualization, which can lead to a sort of paralysis analysis. All of this, of course, is a way that the ego can evade facing the nature of the true self and coming into a direct experiential understanding of what is really, truly real. That is, it's a way of avoiding a genuine spiritual awakening. So, the ego wants us to become trapped in an endless cycle of analysis in which we miss the subtler aspects of our experiences. And as I mentioned, another intellectual obscuration is our attachments to concepts and labels. We habitually categorize and label our events and experiences using preconceived notions and concepts, but filtering everything through such mental constructs and labels and categories, that leads to rather rigid beliefs, a dogmatism, or misconceptions about the true nature of reality. So we have to be on guard and learn to experience our thoughts and ideas loosely without gripping onto them. Spiritual seekers often deceive themselves by objectifying their inner subjective experiences. This happens when we interpret spiritual feelings or profound experiences as if they were objective truths, part of a real reality. For example, we may believe that we've gained special knowledge or that we've made spiritual progress, but these are illusions that can inflate the ego and result in what I've called, or what Trungpa Rinpoche called, spiritual materialism. This is a topic that I've discussed in a previous video, so you might want to go back and find that. I'm reminded of the Polish-American philosopher Alfred Kabinski, who famously argued that the map is not the territory, the word is not the thing. It's not the thing it describes. The concepts are mere representations, mental representations of something else. Jiddu Krishnamurti also emphasized this when he said it's important to directly perceive reality rather than viewing things through a filter of words and concepts. For example, Krishnamurti believed that words can become a prison that prevents us from understanding the true nature of reality. So we can get hung up on and caught up in and uh, deceived by intellectualization and overthinking and analysis paralysis and the objectification and reification of our concepts, beliefs, ideas, and so forth. So we have to be very careful. Now, how do we get out of this? What's the key? We have to remind ourselves that spiritual knowledge and practices can help us tap into profound wisdom that transcends the limitations imposed by incessant thought patterns and rigid concepts, dogmatic thinking, and so forth. Genuine spiritual growth requires that we confront these intellectual barriers and surmount them by recognizing how our preconceived notions hinder genuine insight and freedom. Freedom. Mindfulness practices such as meditation help us detach from our fixations and embrace the fluidity of our experiences in everyday life, which of course includes our own internal mental subjective events, the flow of thoughts and feelings as we go about our day. These kind of mindfulness practices challenges our misconceptions and they expand our intellectual horizons. They foster open-mindedness and a receptivity to greater levels of understanding and wisdom. This is a process of letting go of egoic attachments, of cultivating humility and discernment, and developing a willingness to question our assumptions. By seeking greater spiritual knowledge and integrating an intellectual understanding with spiritual insights and the experiences in our everyday lives, we can more fully embody spiritual wisdom and experience its transformative power every day. Transcending our intellectual obscurations leads to deeper wisdom, clarity, receptiveness, openness. This all brings us closer to our goal of realizing the true nature of reality and of experiencing freedom here and now. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and thank you for your support. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and also subscribe so you don't miss the next video all about egoic attachments. We're going to have a little summary about the ways in which the ego can deceive us along the spiritual path and throw up obstacles to self-realization. And then I'm going to have a video about spiritual pride. Pride is one of the major obstacles, one of the final obstacles on a spiritual path. And that video will probably conclude this section that we've had. It's been a long, extended section on obscurations to self-realization. And then we're going to turn the corner and probably discuss specific spiritual practices. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Journey of Self-Awareness.